Hello, Stephen White, TrickBoy89 from SteveArts89. Here we are again with Star Trek news, animated news. I'm not... Nickelodeon has been brought on. CBS has greenlit a series with them, and it sounds really bad. I wish I had good Star Trek news, but it sounds really bad. Basically, they've got a bunch of teens who find a derelict starship and steal it and go running around the galaxy having adventures. That's not Star Trek. That's not even intelligent or adult. And I know that's supposed to be made for kids, but kids are not stupid. It's insulting to children that every TV series has to be based around a bunch of kids in a situation unrealistic that, you know, kids are apparently too stupid to realise that this would never happen in the real world. You'd never really have a bunch of kids commandeering a Navy ship and like travelling the high seas. That's the only equivalent I can put to in the real world. I mean, it's ridiculous. They already greenlit earlier the Rick and Morty Star Trek series, which is basically a rip-off of the Orville, where basically they're on the Federation's most least important ship, and it's all the lower members on the lower decks of the crew, like the ensigns, the people that don't matter, and it's just going to be a bunch of losers complaining and whining and being stupid and somehow saving the day and being heroes because we need to empower stupid loser people. I'm like, no, this is not going to inspire a generation. Yeah, no, this is not Star Trek. I don't know what they're doing. They're trying to make it appeal to the masses, and the masses are stupid, ignorant people with no taste. So they want to create stupid shows for people who can't understand how stupid they are. And now they want to corrupt the children, the next generation, and make them too stupid to realize how bad their writing is. And this is nothing good to say about it. I don't want to be here saying negative shit about Star Trek, but there's just nothing good about this. I grew up loving Star Trek. I loved the original animated series, and I just wish they'd done a modern animated series where they're on a starship, preferably Enterprise, and they're just going around doing shit that they can't afford to do in live action TV, and just making it beautiful and spectacular and amazing, and just... But they just want to make a kiddie show for stupid little kids and pat them on the head and say, you go off and play on your little starship, little kids. Ugh, fucking hell. I can't think of anything more condescending and insulting. They wanted to do that with the original Star Trek animated series. They wanted each crew member to have some kid version of themselves that they had on the ship, like that would ever happen. And Gene Roddenberry said, fuck this shit, no, this is just a continuation of the show for children, and we're going to make it intelligent enough for children to understand, and then they can watch it and understand it and enjoy it, and then later when they get older they can still watch it and enjoy it because it's actually intelligent, because that's what Star Trek is. It's intelligent. Steve, oh, I hate this bullshit. Okay, so let's get into some of the facts of this next abomination. And yes, I'm sliding into that whole hater group of people screaming on the internet about how horrible Star Trek is and the new Star Trek is. At least Discovery on some level tried to be a Star Trek show on some level, failed miserably but tried. These shows aren't even trying to be Star Trek. They are just, let's put Star Trek brand on a show for kids, try and get kids to watch it, and then maybe they'll grow up and watch the other shows, and then we'll make money out of them somehow. Just put the Star Trek brand on it. That's all they need. They're not actually trying to make a Star Trek show about... I mean, there's a reason why the Star Trek characters are heroes. They taught a generation of people about morals and leadership and loyalty and all these important themes that they had in the show. And now all we get is dumb people doing stupid, immoral things. Like... look at Georgiou, who's going to be doing her own Section 31 series, apparently, after the third season, whenever that happens. She killed a man in the final episode of Discovery. This was a man who had been taken over by an artificial intelligence through nanites. Instead of freeing him from the nanites, saving him and killing them. She rips them out of him with magnets and watches him die and enjoys his screaming and suffering. This is not Star Trek. This is an abomination. And characters like this, they just destroy everything the show stood for. And people think, oh God, what a bunch of hysterical fans. None of this shit matters, just a TV show. Well, no, it does matter. It does matter. But that is a whole nother video. But this is just a continuation of that bullshit. But, okay, so what are the facts? Okay, it's been greenlit. We don't know how many seasons. The Rick and Morty series got 2 seasons. This one, it's coming from CBS's new animation arm, and it is going to be overseen by Secret Hideout and Roddenberry Entertainment, or produced through them. And Roddenberry is sounding like a bit of a sellout. He was brought on to Discovery to give the show some credit because he's Gene Roddenberry's son. Supposedly he would want to withhold his father's legacy, and he walked away from the series. So whether that means he does have some integrity because he left the series, or he just put his name on it and never planned to do anything, we don't know yet. We're not impressed. But Ramsey Nato from Nickelodeon is going to oversee the series. And Variety had an article which I was looking at, and it listed Alex Kurtzman, Heather Kadin, Katie Krinitz, Rod Roddenberry, and Trevor Roth, who will be the executive producers on the project, alongside with the Hagemans. Who were they? God, what were their names? There was a team that were producing it. Oh, Kevin and Dan Hageman, who did Troll Hunter and Ninjago? Masters of Spinzitzu. I don't know what the hell these shows are, but I'm assuming they had to have had some success, or these people wouldn't be brought on to take on something as important as Star Trek. But I don't know. All I know is it's not Star Trek. Star Trek is exploring the universe, exploring humanity, having a moral compass. And that's what Star Trek is. It's a philosophy. It's more than just pew, 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 action in space, scary aliens, bad guys that we have to kill. Star Trek was better than that. Star Trek negotiated with and understood the enemy and didn't defeat them. It just made them not the enemy anymore. And that's what you have to do in life. You can't just go around shooting people and killing people, just vilifying people as the bad guy and then destroying them, and then you be the good guy. It's not so black and white. Like Star Wars was like that. We had Darth Vader, who was a big black villain in the black outfit. I don't mean African American. I mean he was in literally a black outfit. While I can't even get into all this. It's just, and anyone who knows about Star Trek or knows about Star Wars knows what these problems are. And I don't need to tell you this shit. But yes, so they've greenlit a second show. It's going to be super kiddie. It's going to be really juvenile and stupid, where a bunch of teens steal a starship and go running around space having adventures without adults, because that's just